Welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Dee Dee and this is Randy. And as usual, we're here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center on Rosemont Avenue, bringing you some adoptable pets. And we are starting out the day with perhaps not the most beautiful cat in the shelter, but close. This cat is called Turbo, and he has blue eyes, and he is what is known as a flame point. On top of that, he has extra long fur, so he is fluffier than your average cat. And flame point just means that the points of the cat, nose, ears, tail tip, are orange colored instead of the same color as his body. And it is part of the Siamese family, although he's not a purebred cat by any means. He's just beautifully marked. Now, he also happens to be young. He's only about a year old. And he was given up by people who had to move to a place where they couldn't take him. And that's pretty common in our animal shelter, that we hear people separating with their pets because they have to move to some place. And I know all of us with pets can be judgmental about that and say things like, I would live in my car before I would give up my pet. But the reality is, a lot of things happen in people's lives that are out of their control, and they do the best they can. And because there is a place where they can bring a pet in an emergency, sometimes they take that option. And since there are over 200 million pets in the United States, and fewer than 6 or 8 million ever see the inside of the shelter, and many of those are just lost pets that are reclaimed, it is a very small incidence that people leave their pets behind in a shelter. That does not happen very often. Still, 4 to 8 million is nothing to sneeze at. That's a lot of animals to find homes for. But as a population, a percentage of how many animals are kept as pets, it really is a tiny number of animals end up in shelters, and most of them not because they're being mistreated, but because for whatever reason, people decide not to keep them. So this beautiful cat, Turbo, is available for adoption, and adoption's pretty straightforward. You come to the shelter on Rosemont, look at all the cats, check out their profiles, ask to see a few, we'll help you out with that. And if you make a good match, you fill out an application. If you own your own home, or we check with your landlord, and your other pets are up to date on rabies shots, then we spay or neuter the pet of your choice, sit down and talk to you about how to integrate that pet into your house, and you take them home. It's pretty simple. For cats, it's $97.50. Unless they're over 5 years old, then we discount a little. And if they're over 10, we discount even more. It takes a really generous person to take home a 10-year-old cat, but there are advantages. So if you think that Turbo is a good match for you or someone that you know, then come and meet him and see what you think.